podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
I was staring at the shield when I noticed a strange sound. Water gurgling. And then I realized there was something new in the room. At the back of the cabin was a big basin of gray sea rock, and a spout like the head of a fish carved in stone. Out of its mouth burst a stream of water, a saltwater spring that trickled into the pool. The water must have been hot, because it sent mist into the cold winter air like a sauna. It made the room feel warm and summery, fresh like the smell of the sea. I stepped up to the pool. There was no note attached or anything, but I knew it could only be a gift from Poseidon.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Raye from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
Oh ho ho.
Oh man, this is it feels like it's such like a, just from the name, it's like, okay, this is a chapter, I guess. I don't remember what happens in this one, but like, fuck.
Yeah. It's
Like,
because
fuck.
nothing happens. We are just dealing. Like, holy shit.
We're dealing with some shit, like, I'm still not okay.
No,
from
for
Annabeth
real.
right now.
Okay.
I think this chapter made me more emotional than Annabeth falling off the cliff. like what happens to Annabeth at the end of the chapter? I was like, oh god, I'm not okay. Boy, what happened in this? What happened in this fucking chapter, my dude?
Percy placed an underwater phone call.
Yeah.
I don't know that was the most important thing. I guess it's the only thing that, like, happens, so that's why it's the chapter title.
Well, you don't want to say, like, Annabeth nearly gets crushed by, I don't know, nothingness, because we don't know what's happening.
We'll have to talk about that later, because it's very abstract. It was hard for me to picture, like, the actual
Well, it's
scene.
because they don't want to give away what's,
yeah.
like, really going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, here we are. We're at camp. It's very different in winter. Percy's like, it's really empty here. And also it's snowy. Little Christmassy even. They have little fires in the sky. It's beautiful, I'm sure. It's probably deeply empty and sad, given how the rest of this chapter goes. The hunters split off and head to Cabin 8, with Grover continuing to harass them. They bring Nico, our sweet boy, all by his lonesome because his sister abandoned him, over to the big house and introduce him to Chiron and Mr. D.
The wine dude.
Chiron is sitting in his wheelchair, ostensibly in case the questers bring back new demigods. That is his explanation. I think it's because he just needs to be at a better angle for cards. I think if you were a horse, it would be really hard to play cards.
I think it's so he can have that blanket on him, because that's gonna be awkward for a horse. He wants to be snuggled up because it's cold.
Yeah. I wonder if that is like a saddle blanket. That would be very funny.
Oh my god.
Anyways, we have a bit of an altercation with Mr. D. He refuses to let anyone look for Annabeth. Percy gets a little spicy and nearly gets smited over that. He is only saved by the wonder of mythomagic. Nico watched the orientation film that we all missed out on. I really want to see that orientation film.
I'm pretty sure that there's, like, a version of it in one of the extra books. Probably a newer version of the orientation film. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Would be delightful. Percy and Thalia get the hell out of Dodge, get the Hades out of Dodge, and spend a little bit of time trying to process some of their emotions, but they're really bad at it. Percy helps spread around camp that they're going to play capture the flag against the hunters. and picks up the information that Clarice has gone missing while on a quest.
Oh.
Percy goes back to his room and has some sad boy hours. And then he notices that he's got a new fountain. I don't know how he didn't notice that at first. I mean, presumably it's like making noise and steam.
It's the ADHD.
It's the ADHD. Yeah, he was a little busy, being despairing over the fact that he can't catch a fucking break. Anyways, I'm so sorry, guys. This chapter, he can't catch a fucking break. My emotions are a little.
I think the new name for this chapter is just Sad Emo Boy Hours. Like
Sad Boy Hours.
Sad Boy Hours.
So the fountain, Percy assumes, is a gift from his father. It's making a little bit of steam, and has some golden drachma in it, so you can make some calls. It's very that does have, like, the passive-aggressive energy of, like, your dad being, like, your phone has minutes, doesn't it? Why do you call me?
Oh my god.
Anyways.
God. Iris has special plans. So, like, if you put 2 drachmas in, you get longer.
So Percy decides that who he wants to talk to is Tyson, which is amazing.
Best boy.
It's so good to see my boy. He's working in the forges. He seems to be doing very well. He asks where Annabeth is, and Percy is like, not here right now. And yeah, then Tyson has to go, and then we're sad again.
We're even more sad.
And then Percy and Talia both eat dinner alone because the camp's rules are fucking bullshit. And then Percy has a prophetic nightmare about Luke being a huge dick and Annabeth being in a lot of trouble. And that's where we're gonna be for the rest of this week.
I'm not okay. I'm just not okay.
None of us are okay. It's all bad.
Another alternate name for this chapter that I came up with, it gets steamy in cabin 3.
God, I can't. That sounds like an actual, like, what Rick would write.
Like, I'm sorry, that's way better than underwater phone call. You need a pun. You need a good pun.
Goodness.
Yeah,
great. I don't know if this chapter hit like that for you guys, but I was like, holy shit, I'm depressed.
It's just like, it feels like there's nothing happening, but like, we're just processing.
Yeah, we are just processing all of our losses and traumas all together. It's great.
Yeah, I feel for Percy. All right, well, as I've already told Raye, the myth stuff I have for y'all is, very relevant.
Because nothing happens in this chapter. So, but, no, I like this. I like that we're doing this. I'm gonna steal your thunder. We're talking about, those, oceanic guys from before the gods.
Because they mentioned.
Yeah, they're mentioned. I think this is good background info. I'm excited.
Yeah, because there's, like, nothing else, like, mythological that happens that we can talk about yet, per se. So, let's go into these.
Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. There's a lot of foreshadowing going on, actually. There's, like, so much.
Yeah, we shouldn't be doing this much foreshadowing. The book's already got it handled.
Yeah. Alright, so, in case you missed it, but, shh. Let's go into this guy that I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, I was also thinking about that.
Yeah, so I actually had to go to, well, I think it's Aegeus, because, it's Aegeon or Aegeus. Yeah, it depends. But yeah, so this guy is the god of storms of the Aegean Sea. So, like, why is he here? This is not the Aegean. We are in the US.
Bro, why are any of them here?
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like, this guy's very specific.
Okay, no. Mount Olympus is still a place, it's still a mountain, but Mount Olympus, like, caps, is in the Empire State Building. I assume it's something like that.
Yeah, possibly. I'm just saying, like, the next guy we'll talk about is a little bit less specific to, like, Greece, Like, he doesn't this guy has a spot on the map of the actual world. The next guy does not. So Aegeus was an ally of the Titans in the war. Wow. I wonder that's why he's here. The fact that his name means goatish or stormy.
Goatish.
Like, goat-ish? I guess that's a word. Sure.
I'm now imagining him as, like, a satyr-ish person, but, like, kind of seahorse-ish satyr-ish.
Well, okay, so so there's, like, literally a constellation that's the, what is it? Capricorn. It's the sea goat.
Yes, the sea goat. Yeah. Yeah, that's
like literally
that's
a
this guy
thing.
now. Yeah, makes sense.
I'm assuming that's what he is.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Also, he is identified with, maybe confused with, possibly, one of the 100-handed ones. One of those big giants that's got, like, 100 hands. And his parents are Pontos and Gaia. Pontos being, like, the even more primordial ocean god. There's a lot of fucking ocean gods, y'all. Like, just don't try to research the ocean gods, because you will get, like, so confused. Because, like, there's just, like, a lot. It just keeps going further back and further back with, like, more and more ocean shit. And, like,
it's 70% of the planet. You know, you gotta delegate a little bit.
But, like, I think there's more, like, ocean nymphs than, like, anything else, or, like, water nymphs, I should say, than anything else, and then, like, ocean gods as well. Oh, one of the 100-handed ones is also his son, maybe? Either Briareus is him, or that's his son. That's confusing. I don't like it.
It's just how these things go sometimes. Like,
it is.
We were having this same issue with what's-his-face in the last episode. Fire Chariot Boy.
Yeah. I also, like, was just looking something up recently, and that same thing happened. It's like, either that's this guy's son, or it's this guy's grandson.
I assume
and it's like, why?
That what happens is somebody gives them a cool new name, and then somebody else is like, I've never heard that name before. Who's that? I guess he's his son, or whatever. I mean, it probably isn't
confusing.
Always that. This doesn't seem to fit that very well, because I don't know why a 100-handed giant would be him or be related to him. I don't, like, how do we even get there? What is going on? It doesn't matter.
I don't know. We'll
matter.
We'll look into them when they become possibly relevant. But, like, of course, everything's gonna be relevant because it's Rick and he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's like, I'm gonna bring in these random things and I will make them make sense in this story. Yeah, so I guess the commentary section on theoi.com says that Briareus replaces his father as the god of Aegean sea storms, specifically. Like, once again, very specific. And this guy might be related to Zeus's, like, goatskin arm guard? Okay. The Aegis. The Aegis is sometimes, like, a goatskin thing. You know, like, yeah. The Aegis is, like, so weird. We talked about it in a past episode, but, like, sometimes it's a goatskin, sometimes it's got Medusa's head, sometimes it's both. It's really hard. It's a shield of some kind that protects you.
Fascinating, because I was thinking that Aigos, Gaios, or whatever his name is.
Like, it does look like Aegis, right?
Yeah, when you said it aloud, I was like, sounds kind of like Aegis. So, what I'm getting from this is that Zeus probably skinned a sea god who was part goat.
Yeah.
And made it into a cool little arm guard.
I don't know. So, like, just to get into the whole, like, Capricorn situation for a second, there's just, like, I'll probably talk about the zodiacs at some point on this pod.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's just, like, a lot of hard things trying to make the sea goat, like, try to relate to the mythology, because, you know, they stole these constellations from the Mesopotamians. They're just like, sea goat. We don't actually have, like, that literal sea goat god who's related to those things, so I guess maybe Pan disguised himself as a fish at one point. Yeah, let's go with that. And it's like, guys, why are you going with that story when you have this guy right here who's literally a sea god? His name means goat. Like, it's this guy. Capricorn is this guy. I'm just saying. There's just, like, something going on there. Also, watch the OSP video about the Zodiac, just because it's very funny when Red is like, yeah, I was trying to look up why Capricorn is, like, Pan and this fish, and they're like, they went into this whole internet deep dive and just, like, rabbit hole talking about some weird time-traveling fish goat man, and it's like, it was fake. The internet lied to Red, and I think it's the funniest thing, Red going off for, like, 2 minutes about this.
And being like, actually, somebody made this shit up.
Yeah, because they made up, like, a whole myth about, like, him being a time-traveling god, and it's like, what is happening here? I think that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna move on to the next guy because he has more to talk about.
I'm sure that there's more stuff. Yeah. Poor Agaios. I don't like that the vowel sound being repeated twice. It's fine. It's fine.
There's so many vowels.
Oceanus. I can say that.
Okay, I've heard so many ways to pronounce this name.
Oh.
So you say Oceanus. I've heard Oceanus.
Yeah.
But if you want to say it in Greek, it's Okeanos.
Okeanos. Okay.
Because all the C things are actually K's for them.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, like, we've mentioned this before, but, like, centaur is Kentor.
Why did we do that?
The first time I actually heard this guy's name pronounced as Okeanos, guess what? It was a Fate Zero.
Oh.
To relate it back to the animes I was watching. Yeah.
Alright, tell me about him.
He's a Titan son of Uranus and Gaia. Hey! So, like, he's one of Kronos' siblings. Fun shit.
Nice.
The husband of his sister, Tethys. And he's just the father of the river gods and the Oceanids. Are those the nymphs? Yes, they're the nymphs, of course. God, of course the nymphs are just, like, have his name, because that makes sense. So, he's, so, like, how Hades, has, like, the name of, like, the underworld is sometimes called Hades, and he's the god of Hades. This guy, well, he kind of both is a person and a place. I guess that's more like Gaia and Uranus, I guess. So, like, Gaia is the earth, but also she's a goddess.
Yeah.
Oceanus is a giant river that encircles the world. And he's also a god. Like,
I love
he's
that.
both at the same time. So, it's like a whole weird thing with how, like, they believed everything was, I guess. I want to say that he would basically be, like, the atmosphere, possibly. If you want to put it into, like, the earth is not flat terms.
Well,
if
to
this
use
is flat earth terms, probably
the Christian terminology would be the...
Oh, yeah, the spheres?
Oh, God, I forgot what it's called. Is it
the spheres?
No, there's a specific word for the firmament.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. It's just like...
Well, maybe I'm confused, because I thought it was water, but when I Google that, I'm getting, like, a solid dome.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking of. I didn't think it was actually water, but, like, basically that's how I would put it. I still want, like, a picture of, like, how this all works. I really need an image to explain this, because, like, we still got the whole, like, the sky.
No.
And the earth.
Okay, so I have a picture.
Right.
Here, I'll just send you the wiki for firmament.
Alright.
But the firmament itself refers to the dome that keeps the ocean out, the outside ocean from getting on us. Right.
Sure. Let's go with that.
So there's the upper seas are on top of the firmament.
Okay. This is actually not helping. This is making it worse. I'm, like, so much more confused here.
No, this is how I'm conceptualizing this guy. He's you know. We're under a big glass blanket that keeps the water from coming down.
But where's the sky? Where is the sky in this? Is there
the sky is the okay? So
is the
so
water
you have,
the sky?
you have Earth, and then you have sky, and all the celestial stuff is in there, the sun and the stars and stuff. And then on top of that, you have the big dome, and then outside the dome, you have water.
Oh.
So we're all inside a big water thing.
I don't like that. We're in a snow globe, guys. I think I've solved it.
Yeah, exactly.
No lie, I've definitely had those, like, thoughts when I'm just like, if God exists, are we just in a snow globe? I don't like that.
I don't know what mythology it was, or if one of my relatives just, like, made it up. This is completely unrelated to everything that we're talking about, but my favorite, view of the cosmology of the universe is that, that you've got the Earth, and then, you've got, like, the sky where all the light comes from, and then at night, you put a blanket over it. And the stars are, all the little, like, holes in the knit of the blanket that you can see the light coming through. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, that's actually so cute.
Right? Oh my god. Like, because you can see it. Like, when you look at the stars, you're like, oh yeah, those could be, like, little pinpricks of light coming through, like, a little piece of blanket. I don't know. I just think that's nice. Alright, sorry to have distracted us entirely. Let's get back to Okeanos.
You know what? I think I'm just, like, entirely wrong, and I'm just, like, trying to view this from a non-flat earther perspective. So, like, it's flat Earth. Like, all of it, it's just the water that encircles, like, everything. Oh, I lost the page. Okay, where was I? I'm gonna stop trying to explain his existence, but yeah, he's a person, and he's also a place.
Yeah, I'm looking at his wiki now. I'm looking at the cosmography section, and it's like, cartographers continued to represent the encircling equatorial stream much as it had appeared on Achilles' shield. And I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you're on about. So we gotta just... Well, I'm gonna have to research this later and, like, read up on whatever the fuck the equatorial stream is, because that sounds great.
It's
but
so confusing me.
I don't know that it's worth it for the episode. Let's move on. What's this guy's deal?
Well, I was gonna say, like, in Fate Zero, as I, like, first heard, like, Okeanos
I was
as, like...
taking a drink, and then you said Fate Zero. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna roast you, only a little bit.
Stop roasting me! What's wrong with me liking an anime, okay?
It was just funny because I was like, no, it's fine.
You're gonna have to explain why you're roasting me later.
No, I'm not. It was just funny because I was expecting you to, like, get into, like, the actual mythology, and then you're like, okay, in Fate Zero.
Well, guess what? Alexander the Great, Alexander the Alright, sorry, in that show is like, yeah, I really, my whole life I wanted to reach Okeanos, which basically is just, like, the edge of the world, I guess, is how he was explaining it. Okay. Yeah, he just wanted to reach the water at the edge of everything, which is that's cool.
That's definitely a thing. Like, okay, that's different from what we were talking about then, because that would be a flat Earth, and then when you reach the edge, there's water, like, down after the drop. That definitely makes sense.
That's how I'm thinking the Greeks probably thought of it as, is, like, a flat Earth thing, probably. But, like, in my brain, I'm just like, I can't think of the flat Earth thing, so my brain goes to, like, water encircling, like, the globe. But, like, no, they were still in flat Earth times, I guess.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, that would be a flat Earth concept, is you reach the edge, and then there's a drop, and then there's water. You ever see DreamWorks Sinbad?
God, I don't think I have, actually.
Bro, bonus episode. Bro, we have to watch that. It's fucking good. Anyways, if y'all want to know where my sexuality comes from, it's Eris in that movie. The animation on her, holy shit. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, they do that in that movie. That's why I brought it up. They reach the edge, and then there's, the drop in the water.
See, my brain was thinking about that, the cubed Earth in, Barbie Swan Lake.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think about that so often, actually. I just
think about him, like, walking his little fingers, and, like, if you go too far, you'll fall right off.
You know what? I need to find a picture of that and just send that to, like, the Discord right
make
now.
a tweet with that, like, please.
Okay, yeah. So, we actually don't know what this guy's name means, I guess. It's like, the etymology is obscure, it can't be explained. That's
fascinating. And then we named the ocean after him, huh?
That's, like, so weird to me. Because, like, yeah, everything is named after him.
Yeah, that's,
like,
fascinating.
Oceanus, like, Oceana, Oceanids, Ocean, everything is named after this guy, and we don't know what his name means. That is just, like, you get to the root of something, and it's, like, unknown. Not helpful, guy. Not helpful. So yeah, the fact that his daughters are named the Oceanids, and his sons are just the river gods. Greek mythology, I hate you sometimes. That's just how it is. He had a lot of fucking kids. Like,
yeah,
as I mentioned, there's just a lot of fucking ocean people. And he had a lot of kids. Yeah, just the genealogy is just like Oceanus and Tethys, the rivers, the Oceanids. Doesn't even name them. Love that. I love this section of the wiki. Primeval father, ? The fact there's a question mark in the name of it. Love that.
Good. I love mythology. It's totally great.
There's, like, it's not necessarily, like, a theory, but, like, it's something in the Iliad that's mentions there might be, like, a tradition where they were, like, the parents of the gods instead of Uranus and Gaia. Which, alright, love that. You know, water brings life to us all. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Makes enough sense to me. Especially if you're thinking of it like the land rising up from the sea.
Oh, and it might be related to Orphism, too. Oh my god. Everything relates back to Orphism. Which, again, relates to Dionysus. We're back on that bullshit. I love it. I would talk about Orphism because I have no idea. It's just, like, so weird. I love it. Okay, they're possibly, like, the first to marry of the Titans, I guess?
Good for them.
Oh my god. There's just, like, a lot of, like, weird things going on here if you think about Orphism. Anyway. According to Apollodorus, when all the Titans were attacking their father, Uranus, Oceanus did not attack him. Interesting. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
And he did not take part in the Titanomachy. I can't say the word. Titanomachy. There we go. I can't say words. Yeah, so he's just, like, a neutral guy, but, like, right now he's fighting against Poseidon. Weird! Rick, why are you like this? Why are you like, yeah.
It's fine. But yeah, that's interesting. It makes him an interesting guy, you know? He's just out here doing his own thing, trying not to make too many waves.
Hey! I think I like that better for him than, like, what Rick is doing here, but I assume he just wants to keep Poseidon out of the way because Poseidon's super powerful. You can't have him, like, you know, helping out.
Well, and
Percy
the problem is that Luke is on a boat. Like,
that
and so Poseidon should be able to just deal with that shit, so we have to have a reason that he didn't. You know, if Percy can't go on a plane because Zeus will smite him from the air, then it's a bit of an issue that Luke is just, like, sailing around, totally fine.
The fact that, like, Zeus actually didn't smite Percy while he was on the sun chariot, just saying.
Well,
surprising.
Okay, the sun chariot is technically another god's domain.
And yet,
you know, I would say
Phaethon.
Well, he was causing problems actively.
He would have done that if that was Helios, though. He didn't know who was driving. He would have done it even if it was Helios.
Yeah.
Whatever. I love this. Okay, so Oceanus visited Prometheus in one of the tales of his punishment. He arrives on a winged steed. Bro, the ocean has a Pegasus.
Good.
Possibly. I mean, we don't... Does it say if it's a horse? Oh, wait! It might be a griffin. Wait, I love that better, actually. The ocean has a griffin. I love him.
That is almost too bad, because I do like if we get lots of connections between horses and water, because...
I mean, we have enough of them. Pegasus is already a son of Poseidon.
Yeah, it's fine.
We don't have to relate it back to Oceanus. He's older. And griffins are fucking cool. We need more griffins in here. Just saying. Heracles threatened to shoot Oceanus. Love that. And he actually was afraid and just like, wow.
Oh, Heracles.
That's funny. The only thing that he ever feared was Heracles.
Wow. That boy.
I mean, it's because, like, if we're talking, like, mythologically, he just didn't want to fight things, and Heracles is fucking terrifying, actually. If you're just, like, the lone guy who's just like, nah, I'm just neutral zone. Heracles, and all of his beefy boyness is gonna terrify you. He's got bullhorns. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Sometimes he's got a snake in his hand and a fish in his hand. Interesting. Oh, and he's a merman. Love that. I'm pretty sure Tethys also has, like, horns or something. Sometimes I think, I want to say these two are the ones that have, like, the weird horns that are sometimes, like, crab hands. Yeah, like, if you look at that, like, mosaic on this picture, like, he's got, like, crab things that are coming out of his head. But, like, they're very primordial and cool. I don't know, man. They're just weird people. One of my favorite ocean goddesses is, in fact, his daughter, and that's why I drew her with bullhorns. I forgot. Okay. Doris. Because Doris. I just love that she sounds like a grandmother, and she's just like this random sea god. I just imagine her knitting sweaters under the water. That's just it. That's how I imagine her. Alright, I'm gonna get us off this train because we've been here a while. What's this fucking chapter about, man? Let's talk about Camp Half-Blood looking like we're celebrating Christmas here.
It makes sense to me, because it is, like, a very winter thing. Like, Percy compares it to Christmas, but winter celebrations are older than Christmas, and I'm sure having, like, lights up everywhere is older than Christmas.
I want to know if they celebrate Saturnalia in Camp Half-Blood.
Like, that would make sense, right? I don't know what you would do that was age appropriate.
Well, we do have, the Stoll brothers in this chapter talking about poker, and gambling is, like, very important to Saturnalia. So,
yeah, I'm sure they have a little feast day, do some partying. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that they're not Christmas lights, they are Saturnalia lights. They're celebrating, my dude. I do like this. I want to know, is it cold in there? I feel like it's probably cold. A little bit. Maybe
a little bit, but they can control the weather. So even if it's, like, you know, snowing in the camp, I bet it's not, like, that cold. Because it doesn't need to be anything that they don't want it to be. There's fire in the attic for the spirit of Delphi, in case she gets chilly.
She's roasted marshmallows!
It's so sweet.
I just imagine everyone is wearing, like, these wonderful Camp Half-Blood knit sweaters. If these don't exist, I will riot. I think they do exist.
Who's the Greek god of textiles? Knitting.
The goddess of crafting is our girl Athena, so...
Alright. You know, you listen to an audiobook about battle strategy and you make yourself a little sweater, you know.
You know what, Athena? She goes down and she visits Doris, and they're both just knitting sweaters. For everyone at Camp Half-Blood.
Girls' night.
I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm imagining, like, Molly Weasley sweater, like, type thing. They're all orange, and they say, like, CHB on them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real cute. So Nico is being his cute, obnoxious self, and he's asking about everything.
He's not that obnoxious. He's asking why there's lava on the climbing wall, which is a perfectly reasonable thing.
I mean, Percy always thinks he's so annoying, and I love it. I'm sorry. I love him. I don't care if you think... This is like my thing. I am always soft to, like, the annoying child character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. They're just like...
Bro. bro, you are sympathizing. Bro, it's because we've got ADHD.
Yeah.
That
You're right, though. You're so right. I think it's because I was always, like, inserting myself into that role. I'm like, this
exactly.
is me. I'm that person who's annoying, obnoxious. It's fine. Yeah, so Zoe's just like, we gonna go to Cabin 8. I know the way. Grover.
Okay, let's get into it.
He's gotten worse.
I'm
He's gotten
deeply
worse.
uncomfortable. You know what? The casual misogyny has gotten to be a bit much. I'm getting uncomfy. I wasn't comfy from the beginning, but the fact that it keeps happening and no one, like, calls it out ever, I'm like,
Like,
hey.
the first, or, like, 1 or 2 references of, like, Grover being like, yeah, Artemis is, like, she's into nature. I'm like, okay, like, that's cute, fine. Grover, stop it. Like, no, like, the hunters don't want it. Like, don't keep going.
Yeah, no.
Please.
And I'm not even just talking about Grover. Like, Apollo leaves and, like, says something flirty. Like,
Sweethearts.
oh my god, like, the patronization of that, like,
No.
holy shit, like, dude.
No.
And it doesn't even happen to the other girls in the series. It happens to the hunters. Like, because they're all girls? Hey, what the fuck?
Okay, so in a better world, I would imagine, like, Apollo, maybe if, like, Apollo and Artemis were, like, closer, like, maybe he would consider the hunters to also, like, be his, like, sisters or something like that. Like, in a better world where he's actually close with all of them, but they're not. And
No.
he's really just being, like, a creepy flirt, and they just aren't into it. Please stop, Apollo.
Like, even if it wasn't, like, meant to be flirtatious, which it clearly is, but even if it wasn't, it's still patronizing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not cool. People are weird about the hunters. Like,
God, just, I've definitely gotten, people calling me that. You ever gotten, like, somebody, like, a customer or something, like, calling you, like, sweetie, like, shit like that?
Normally I like it. Normally it's like an old British woman, and I'm like, thank you, I've been blessed. So,
okay, sometimes,
which is a different situation.
Sometimes the old ladies are nice. Sometimes they annoy me. It really depends.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, bro, I love being read as, like, more masks, and, like, the guys just being like, what's up, brother? And I'm just like,
oh, that's good.
I got that the other night, and
God, I wish that were me.
Yo, it's because it's dark and you can't see me.
Nice.
You can just see the short hair, that's it. So, Apollo's god. We ain't talking about him right now. We don't talk about Apollo.
No.
I love that Nico doesn't know who Chiron is. That's interesting.
Yeah, that seems strange, because he's a pretty prominent figure.
Mythomagic does not have a Chiron figurine or card.
What the fuck?
Rude. Very rude.
Well, no, I think he just says, I don't have his card, so there could potentially be one, and he just doesn't.
I'm pretty sure Nico has every card. He's caught them all.
He says, I don't have his figurine, so, but he says, who is that? So, I don't think he has all of them. It could go either way. It's either Nico is missing a few pieces of his collection, or Mythomagic needs to step up their game.
I think they need to step up. So, who are the year-rounders here that we have? Still at
Okay,
camp.
they said a couple Aries kids, the Stoll brothers, Travis and Connor, and Beckendorf, in the Hephaestus cabin.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Like,
well, what makes sense to me about that is that, as far as I know, most of those are older kids, and so they're kids who are going to have a bigger target. They're going to, be a little bit more independent from their parents.
You know what? I actually feel like it should be the younger kids, personally, because they
need more protection.
They need more protection. They need more training. They don't know what's going on. I feel like it should be the younger kids more that stay at camp, and the older kids who are, like, more prepared, but possibly these are the ones that don't have, like, the
anywhere else
system.
to go. Yeah.
So that's making me sad. The big house has fireballs just attached to it.
That's nice.
Love that. And the air smells like hot chocolate. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to Camp Half Blood. Even though it's summer right now. I'm just gonna pretend that it's winter. Yeah, and they're playing cards. Mr. D and Chiron.
I'm assuming it's still Pinochle.
I assume so. They don't mention what it is, but
they don't.
I just love Chiron and his sweater. Once again, Doris made the sweater. It's a sweater with a huff print on it. I'm imagining it being pink, personally. We don't get a color, but I think it's pink.
The other detail that I'm charmed by is that Mr. D has a little golden laurel wreath, but like
because
sideways because he just won. Yeah, that's cute.
Of course, it's gonna be sideways because
he just like plopped it on.
He's like, yeah, I won. Also, his outfit. He's leopard skin, warm-up suit, and running shoes. Love it. Love it. So, we're getting some awkward moments of having to explain what the heck's happening.
Yeah, so Grover comes back with a black eye and a slap mark, and I'm like, am I supposed to find this cute? Yeah,
he deserved
but
it.
Let's not get back into it. It's fine.
I'm sorry, Grover is cancelled. Like, just take out, like, all of these interactions in this book, and Grover is fine. I love him. But in this book, Grover's cancelled.
It's trying to, do the satyr thing. I just wish that it wouldn't.
Yeah, this is the one time we're getting, like, horny satyr.
But that is, like, what they're known for, is chasing after girls who don't want it, and being extremely horny.
Yeah, we never get horny satyrs, ever, except for here. Again, it's because the hunters are, like, some of them are probably nymphs, and, like, the satyrs really into that.
Nature.
So, the orientation film is PG-13?
I think Grover just knows what's up. Nico asks if it's G or PG, because Bianca's kind of strict, and Grover says it's PG-13, and Nico's like, nice.
You know what? I think the reason is because somebody says fuck. Like, they get their one fuck, and that gives them the PG-13 rating. And that's it. It was probably Percy in the background. So Chiron wants to search for Annabeth, and I love this. Dahlia and Percy are like, I'll go.
At
the girlfriend and the boyfriend of Annabeth.
Oh my goodness.
Are like, we're going. We want to go get our girl. And Mr. D's like, no. We don't need that.
Mr. D. Oh my goodness. And he keeps saying her name wrong. Like, ugh.
I mean, I would totally call her Annie, but, like, you don't know her like that, bro. Like, you may have known her for, like, 7 years or so, but, like, you don't actually care.
Oh, yeah. When he realizes that Annabeth is missing, Mr. D says, not another one lost, which, from context later in the chapter, means that he's talking about Clarice.
Oh, I didn't even clock that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Raye. I like that.
So, it's all just a mess at camp right now.
Percy's getting super fucking mad because his best friend is missing?
And nobody seems to care. Well, Mr. D is kind of riling him up, like, saying her name wrong. But yeah. I don't blame him. Like, he says that, like, he's impulsive and has ADHD and, like, it's hard to keep control when you're angry. But, like, Percy stands up for people. That's always how when he gets, like, incensed. And loyal. So, yeah. Like, this makes perfect sense for his character, that he would yell at a god who could, turn him into a dolphin.
Percy would just yell at God, like capital G.
Yeah. As he should. As is his right.
Have you seen, like, the edit of, like, Percy as, like, the Sand Guardian?
I haven't. That's I don't know.
It does feature a character who is in a later series. So if you look that up, there's a character who like
there's a potential spoiler. That's very funny though.
But yeah, Percy. It's just like Percy, like in like the sand, and he says "fuck off" to Poseidon because yeah, that's his daddy.
Poseidon quivers before him. God, I love that vine. So. Percy says, just because you were sent here as a punishment doesn't mean you have to be a lazy jerk. He's right.
Yeah.
Mr. D should not be the camp director. It's not fair. Like,
yeah.
it was a bad call. Like, I think that we got into this already because I was complaining about Tantalus and, like, what a bad idea that was. But I would like to reiterate, bad way to run your, childcare. Is to make people do it when they don't want to.
Will always be Hestia should be the camp director.
She should be.
Because, yeah, that's her whole thing is... Okay, so I personally think that if we're separating, like, goddesses of family, Hera is, like, traditional family goddess, and Hestia is, like, found family goddess.
Aw.
Because, like, you know, like, the campfire, like, everybody sit down and, like, you're all part of this. You're all part of this family kind of thing. And, like, Hera's, like, very traditional marriage and all that shit.
Well, and that makes sense because, yes, Hera is marriage and Hestia is home. Like,
yes.
And home can be whatever and whoever you want it to be.
Yeah. And she's the hearth. And...
yeah.
Yeah. I like Hestia.
Imagine how good the bonfire would be. Yeah. It's already very good, but imagine if Hestia...
Imagine if Hestia was there and she was, like, helping you roast your marshmallows every night.
It would be perfect. It would be too good. No one would ever go back to their house. Like, everyone would be year-round.
I think there's an alternate timeline where it is just Hestia ruling the camp and, like, we don't actually have all this stupid strict stuff about, like, the different, like, you have to sit with your cabin.
Yeah, my god. All right.
I'm sorry. I love her so much.
So yeah, Percy is saved in the nick of time from being smited or going insane or whatever was about to happen to him.
Boy.
Because Nico comes back. He's very excited that Chiron is a centaur.
And Mr. D's the wine dude.
He's very excited about the wine dude.
The wine? Mr. D is, like, so confused right now.
It's honestly sweet. Like, Nico's like, everybody thinks you're the lamest god card, but I think your powers are totally sweet. And Mr. D is like, well, that's gratifying. And it's like, I don't know, that's just, like, he's, humoring him.
Yeah, I just love this.
It's nice. So Chiron sends them out to tell everyone about Capture the Flag, and Percy's like, we can't play Capture the Flag, we don't have enough people. And they're like, it's tradition, we gotta.
We do if you count the hunters. When we get there, we gotta figure out how many campers there are.
Yeah, I don't think it's very many. But, there aren't, like, that many hunters either.
Yeah.
Which makes it interesting that, they do it during the summer. That, like, it would be all of the campers versus the hunters. Which...
Yeah.
The fact that is presumably fair,
It's never fair when you're up against the hunters.
Yeah, they're probably not gonna do so hot.
like, I don't want to be spoilery, but, like, it's the hunters of Artemis. What are you expecting here? We have the campers that are trained by Chiron versus the hunters that are trained by the goddess of the hunt. Who would win? Real friendly. I love Thalia just, like, chewing Percy out. You've already got Ares on your bad side. Don't make Dionysus mad.
Yeah. Percy is made to piss off gods. It's incredible he's lived this long, honestly.
My god.
Really? So this conversation makes me sad also. I am thinking about Thalia. I'm thinking a lot of things. She was a tree for a few years, and then she got out, and then, like, everything had changed. She had changed and aged. Everyone was... But even though she has aged, everyone is still older than her, older than they were before.
Yeah.
And, like, that's a little upsetting. And then, like, Luke's gone. Annabeth and Grover have basically replaced her, if you think about it.
They did!
Yeah, yeah, it's a new big three person who, like, they can depend on as a heavy hitter. And he's, like, similarly hot-headed. And yeah. She's been replaced in her own friend group, and, like, the head of that friend group has now fucked off to be evil, and...
Oh my God.
Like... And she just has to deal with all that. Like, it's... And then the reveal that she looked into her mom and found out that she died 2 years ago. Like, imagine being Talia. It's not good.
How much have they revealed about the mom? I can't remember.
Not a lot. All that Talia really says here is that she drank a lot and had a car crash.
Okay, because I'm just like, can we talk about her mom? But we really can't very much.
We really
like,
cannot.
I mean, you can insinuate from just those lines, and also the fact that Thalia ran away,
Yeah.
that it wasn't a great home life situation anyway.
Well, yeah, she's obviously upset because that was her mom, but even she says they weren't close.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, you're still sad about it, even though it's not somebody that you're super close with. I don't know.
Well, it's still, even if she did a shit job, it's still the person who raised her until she was 10 years old. Like, that's a relationship that you don't replace. You know, it's a bond that you have with a person, whether it's good or bad, that gives them a seat of importance.
Yeah, there's just a lot of weird shit going on with Thalia and her mom. It's not great. It's not great. But also, I just want to frame the fact that, like, we do see that the tree is still there, and we do get the explanation that, like, oh yeah, it's just like it doesn't have Thalia's spirit for power, but like it has a golden fleece. Still weird to me.
Like, I feel like that maybe bothered me once, but like, I don't know, I think it's fine. Like, at the end of the last book, what they say is that the tree, like, spits her out. And I don't know, I'm fine with that.
Imagine it actually, like, spitting her out physically. It just, like, heaves and, like, look, you got a punk girl. Love that. So, she needs a hug. And also in the background, we have an Aries camper and a hunter about to kill each other. I just love that detail. Love it so much.
So, yeah, she and Percy are actively trying to get along.
Yeah, they are.
They both offer each other the captainship of Capture the Flag, and then Percy suggests they co-captain, and they're both very uncomfortable. Like, but they're so clearly trying, but it's hard for them. It's not working. Like, they're processing together, they are being emotionally open, but they just aren't made to, like, click easily as people.
Zeus and Poseidon, that's why. It's just like, they both realize who they are in the friend group. Once again, like, the whole, like, Percy's Thalia's replacement. Not really, but, like, that's how it feels, and they both know it.
And for Percy, it feels like she's replacing him, you know?
Exactly.
That people don't care about him and rely on him the way that they used to, with her around.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense for them to sort of resent each other, and they're trying not to, and that, you know, that makes it hard, you know?
These kids need a hug, and I want to be there to give them hugs.
It makes me even more sympathetic to both of them, that they sort of understand each other, but like, partially because of that, they can't really get along.
Yeah. So, Percy goes and tells everybody, about Capture the Flag, and then we get the whole thing about Clarice. She's on a secret quest.
But a top secret quest for Chiron.
Wonder what's
and it's
going
been about
on there.
a month. since she went MIA.
I don't think we hear about what this is till, like, the next book.
What?
God
damn.
I'm pretty sure we don't actually get, like, the full-on what happens here until next book. Gonna be honest there. Like, she might come back in here, but, yeah, we're not gonna hear about what this is for a while.
Damn.
But it's not important right now. Because Percy
sounds
is
a little
sad.
important. Clarice is fucking missing.
She's not important right now.
We just had character development last book.
Yeah,
I would like to see her.
That's the whole problem here, is, like, we got character development for her, and then, like, we ain't gonna see her much for a while here. She ain't gonna be buddy-buddy with them. She had her character arc. She's done now.
So, Percy goes back to Cabin 3. This shit is where I start to, unravel. This is fucked. I don't know. Just, okay, Tyson's gone. Percy goes back to the cabin. He has no personalization of this space. It is just the cabin.
He has the horn, and that's it.
He has the fucking Minotaur horn. Like,
which is trauma.
That is trauma. Literally. The only thing that is for him is trauma. That is not a trophy, and it never has been for Percy. It has been something that he clung to in the throes of despair.
It was the only belonging he had in the Lightning Thief when he first came to camp.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, seeing it here as the only, like, personal affect in his space, like, hurts me even more than it did in the Lightning Thief. Like,
okay, like, doesn't Percy, like, he's always mentioned that, like, Camp Half-Blood is, like, his place. Like, he loves it so much, and yet he doesn't have any of his shit here. That's just so weird.
He only comes down for camp, and he doesn't have a lot of stuff. I don't think.
Summer. I don't know. I just want to imagine Percy having, like, I don't know, like a flag or a poster or something, or like, like a nice little blanket.
You know, he's only been here for 2 summers. The first time he didn't have time to grab anything, and then he was off questing. The second time he was busy trying to accommodate Tyson, and he also had to leave in a hurry. He didn't have time to grab anything.
But, like, after those quests, he spent the rest of the summer at camp.
And they don't let you leave, and it's expensive to get anything from the camp store, presumably.
I was gonna say, we know there's a camp store. We know there's a fucking camp store. And
I don't think he has any money. He's like 12.
He is friends with the Stoll brothers who will steal shit.
I feel like the Stoll brothers are nice, but I don't think they're that nice. I think after the toiletries the first time, if you want more shit, you gotta pay up.
I guess
I feel like that was a freebie.
God, does that camp store make any money? I feel like it doesn't, actually.
Yeah, no.
That's why the prices are so high.
Okay, so Percy...
He's got the baseball cap.
Takes out the shield, which is now fucked up, and hangs that up, and puts up Annabeth's hat. These are the 3 things that he has. He has the hat of his missing best friend. He has the shield, the symbol of love from his brother that has been, like, half destroyed. And he has the horn that reminds him of the time that his mom got murdered/kidnapped.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, it is just a museum of trauma. Like...
Yeah, it is. Okay.
That's that's his living space, is a museum of his traumas.
The new name for this chapter, Museum of Trauma.
This is why I was having this reaction at the beginning of this episode. I'm getting too heated about this. Let's move on.
Bro, I watched all of Steven Universe Future in the span of 2 days. And, like, man.
Oh, boy.
Man, emotionally... I was broken.
Speaking of traumas, damn.
Speaking of traumas, imagine if you had, like, the photo of, like, the mom who, like, lied about so much shit just, like, above you, and you're like, where do I put this? Where?
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, damn.
All these people who were, like, child heroes in all of these fictions need to go to therapy.
Oh, man.
I want to, there's gotta be a fanfic where they all go to, like, the same therapy group, and I need it, actually.
I would adore that, like, interdimensional therapy, and it's all entirely tonally inconsistent.
Like, it doesn't need to be. I just want them all to meet and be like, yeah, I'm fucked up. Yeah, same, bro. And, like, they're all working through their issues together. I need that so much. Yeah, so, I don't know what... I'm honestly just really hoping... I don't remember what happens to this Rich Watch after, like, this scene here, but I really just want Percy to wear it as a watch, because, like, does the watch still work? Well, and also, like, his brother still made it.
Yeah. It's still a present from his brother, and, like, it makes sense to, like, have it hung up, although he says that it hurts to look at currently, which, like, fuck. Yeah. But he mentions that he might ask Beckendorf to, like, fix it up, so...
Yeah, I don't remember what happens I don't know. There, but I want him to just wear this watch, because it's a symbol of his brother, and I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Huffle Bros forever. So
he's got his new water feature.
Love it. Love a water feature. The fact that Poseidon doesn't have a note to it, there should be just like a little blue sticky note being like, here you go, Percy. Like, you know,
it almost,
for my son.
Like,
something cute.
It almost makes me think, like, did Poseidon even do this? Like, you know, could it have been somebody else in camp?
Plot twist, it was Mr. D.
It could be, you know? Like, it makes the most sense that, like, this is Poseidon's cabin. Like, no one is allowed inside. Like, he edited it for his darling son. But
even better, it was the narrates in the lake. They made this for Percy because they all have a crush on him. Listen, they all like Poseidon, so they all like Percy. Like, it's just a thing. Yeah,
Percy should go work on his basket weaving with some nice girls.
Yeah! Come on. Listen.
Yeah.
Poseidon has his girlfriend squad. Percy should have his own girlfriend squad at the bottom of the lake. Just saying. Love it for him. So, also love that there's just a bunch of coins here. Personally, I'd just take all the coins.
Oh.
Like, yes, I would call some people, but also, you're gonna need those, bro.
I don't know. I feel like it's nice to have a little bank for your phone calls.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is very nice. The other thing that's nice is that it's a warm fountain. So it's like he says that it makes it fresh and smell of the sea. Yeah.
It's nice.
In the middle of the winter. And so, you know, it's like if you got chilly, you could put your feet in there.
And then
have a little spa night.
Who do I talk to first? Mom? Trauma. Dad? Trauma. Brother? No trauma.
No trauma.
No trauma associated with calling this person.
Okay, except for the fact that he left at the end of last summer and is
it's fine. How much mist do you think, like, is down there? Because I assume Tyson can't really call Percy while he's down underwater.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't be good if water was, like, splashing around in their palace.
Yeah, it's fine. So he's just, like, he's on fire, but also in water. Insert the picture of, like, SpongeBob and Patrick. I love it.
Well, the way that I'm assuming that this works is that he's inside of, like, whatever building or, like, cave or whatever they keep the forges in, and that... So there's a window, and when he sticks the sword out the window, it just is in the water, and then he brings it back, and it's totally, like, back in his dry space. I think that the window is just, like, a surface that water cannot permeate.
See, I just like imagining there's fire underwater. That's just me. I like that. Because there's no rules. They're with gods.
True.
Tyson trying to hug Mist Percy. I'm crying. I'm not okay. Oh, wait, I knew that wasn't you. It's fine. So sad.
He loves his brother so much.
we didn't get a description of, like, Tyson writing his name on the sword, but I wish we had. I want to know what, like, how good his penmanship is. It's probably really bad, but I would love it.
He's an artist. He does a lot of fine work. So, like, I would think calligraphy isn't outside of his purview.
I almost want to imagine it being like when Maui signs his, like, name, but it's actually just, like, a heart and a hook. Like, he draws, like, a little picture that's supposed to represent his name, and also, like, a little heart, because he's Tyson and he's soft. He draws a jar of peanut butter. Yeah, so Poseidon is busy, and there's, like, a war going on underwater. That ain't good. And with those guys that we mentioned earlier.
What's rough about this phone call is that, you know, Tyson talks a lot about, you know, how things are going with him. You know, Dad's busy worrying about war. I've been working on this and this. This is what Luke's boat has been doing. It's going to the Panama Canal, you know, that sort of thing. Percy doesn't get to tell him anything. You know, he asks about Annabeth, but that's such a sore spot and would derail the conversation so badly that he doesn't even bring it up. And so, you know, Percy can't even say, like, we met the hunters, or Annabeth is missing, or, you know, any of the stuff that's, like, all swirling around in his brain right now. He doesn't get the time to talk about any of it. And so it makes you feel more lonely than before when the phone call is done.
The problem is that Percy really wants to unload his problems onto someone.
Yeah, and Tyson's just not a good person for that necessarily. Not that he wouldn't be a good listener, but one, he would get very emotional about Annabeth, and Percy can't deal with that currently. No. And two, he's busy, you know? He just doesn't have time to get into it all right now. I know that he would make time for Percy if he knew that he needed it, but Percy can't do that. Yeah. And I've done that shit. You know, when you are like, hey, I want to talk to you, and then you never bring up the things that you wanted to bring up because it just would be hard to do.
Sally would be the person to call in this situation. Yeah, but he's just like, oh, she doesn't need to know.
He could have told his mom everything.
Like, it's only been like a day.
Bro, he should have called his mom and told her everything she would want to know. But that would also be an emotionally taxing conversation, and he's also just not ready.
Yeah. He's more friends.
He needs to be able to talk about things.
Again, going back to my fanfic idea, like, I don't know who else is in here besides Percy and Steven Universe. Probably Harry Potter as well. But, like, they all just start, like... just all of these people, they end up starting, like, a group chat, like, because they all went to therapy together, and they just, like, hey, like, if you want to, like, unload your problems in here, like, do that. Go ahead.
They have a Discord with a vent, like, channel.
Yes, they have a vent channel, and that's what happens. They just go off to each other, and then they just, like, send heart emojis. It's great. They support. I'm loving my fanfic. Someone please write it for me. I'm too emotional to do so. Yeah, we already talked about how this call just, like, ends immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume that Iris is like, insert more drachmas. Continue call. She has a phone plan going on here, and Percy didn't pay it, so. So, dinner. We love dinner. There's pizza, there's barbecue, there is never empty soda goblets.
Of course.
Would be a problem for me, because I'm on a real soda kick recently. I was real dehydrated the other day, because I've just been drinking a lot of soda. It's a problem. So, Percy's alone, Thalia's alone, and then...
Which fucking sucks. Oh my god. Like, neither of them need this right now. And they're just watching, because Nico's sitting with the Stoll brothers, because, you know, he's in Hermes. And Bianca is hanging out with all the hunters, and they're having a great time.
The hunters are the ones having so much fun here. And, okay, we don't know other Hephaestus people besides Beckendorf, and we just know of unnamed Ares people who are here.
So yeah, it sounds like there's a few Ares kids, so they're, like, hanging out. Beckendorf might be by himself right now, which would also be stupid and suck.
It says Hephaestus had a few people at the table, so there's other people we don't know over there. And I just want to know if there's more Hermes people.
Are big enough. I think everyone should just sit at the Hermes table during the winter.
Yeah.
That would make more sense to me than this. Like, why are they... There's no point in being spread out like this. God. Ugh.
Again,
it's because I'm trying to think about, like, the way that you should actually set up a camp if you are trying to do what was best for the kids. But that has never been the concern at Camp Half-Blood. So.
Yeah, Camp Half-Blood's like, nah, we gotta separate you by your parents. I mean, like, I get
because
it. Because
otherwise we might offend the gods, because their shit is so important.
Like, if you're trying to separate them by, like, their powers, skill set, or, like, something like that, like, if that's why it's by cabin, I don't know. It's just, like, it's so weird and stupid, and they all just need to sit next to each other and be friends. You know. They need to be friends. Because the hunters are having so much fun! Mm-hmm. I love them. I love that Bianca's trying to learn how to arm wrestle.
Yeah, that's so nice.
I want to know if she gets, like muscles by the end. I don't know, this little stay that they're having at Camp Half-Blood. She's having a great time. And like I already said, the whole Nico learning or talking about poker versus mythomagic. That's why I'm like, Saturnalia, they're they're gambling over here. Then we get the scary dream that I'm already too emotional.
Okay, so it's interesting to me that the dream hit you the hardest. For me, the scene in the cabin hit me the hardest. So that's very interesting.
It's because I'm worried about Annabeth, okay?
Yeah. So this sucks. Okay, so what we have is Annabeth doesn't know what's going on. It doesn't seem like she's still asking about Thorn. The
he just like dropped her off on this random hill, I guess, and she's like, what's happening? I'm so confused.
She's scrambling around and then sees Luke. Luke is crumpled on the ground. He is collapsed. He seems like something is crushing him.
Yeah.
There is blackness and fog swirling around him. He is drenched with sweat.
Yeah, he don't look so
And Annabeth
great.
runs up to him.
And Percy's like, let him die.
So Luke says, please, it's killing me, and Percy can't tell what's wrong, but Annabeth, like,
she questions
doesn't
it for
trust
a second,
him.
But, like, she doesn't want him to hurt. Like,
yeah.
So she tries to help him. She's like, I'm gonna hold up whatever the heck this is so it doesn't drop on top of you.
It's the
rocks?
The darkness begins to crumble. Huge chunks of black rock. Annabeth rushes in, and the ceiling drops on her, and she grabs it. She catches the entire ceiling, is what it says. Yeah. And she keeps it from dropping on her and Luke.
I always pictured them as, like, actually being in a cavern here. I don't know, that's what I always pictured, but...
I think it's some kind of room. I think that they say something about columns, but...
Yeah, they're in some kind of ruins.
Percy says it feels like the underworld. It's claustrophobic. Yeah.
So she's holding it up, and then Luke just rolls away.
Yeah, dick. God, I hate this man. He really fucks her over with this.
Ugh! Luke! I hate you. In the meantime, try not to die.
So, yeah, he has used himself as bait to force Annabeth into whatever this situation is. Yeah, it's very hard to visualize. It's a little vague. There are definite reasons for that, but I feel like it's almost a little too vague, but also I need to stop talking about this before I make it too...
Yeah, the problem is we can't say what's going on here, but also, I'm just like, okay, see, you put yourself in Percy's shoes in this chapter, and like, in this moment, I was just like, I'm putting myself in Annabeth, and I'm just like, God... My back hurts. Like, my muscles hurt thinking about what is happening to her. Yeah, that's the problem.
These books are really good at making it seem like Kronos is always moving, and he's always one step ahead of our protagonists.
Yeah.
You know, Luke says, don't worry, your help is on the way. It's all part of the plan. In the meantime, try not to die. And it's like...
Don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
I hate him. But yeah, the fact that there are pieces in movement. That doesn't sound right. Whatever. That are in play that, like, we just don't know what they are yet. Like, the fact that Kronos always has a plan and that our protagonists have to react to whatever he's doing kind of sucks. It makes the plot feel very oppressive, which it should, because this is a kid who's fighting against forces, like, way past his understanding. I don't know. I think it's good. I've always thought that it was really good writing.
Yeah.
It makes your enemies feel very intimidating.
I'm not okay.
I'm so sorry. Anyways, fuck Luke. That dude sucks. We have gone way over time already. We should wrap up and do our recs.
Yeah, so let's go on to plugs before I crawl into a ball. Raye, you got a fun plug for us to bring us up? You know?
All right. I'm looking at my little list. It's much shorter than it used to be. We've been going through episodes pretty fast. Did you ever watch Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency?
No.
That show is a goddamn delight.
What is this? It sounds vaguely familiar.
It's got Elijah Wood in it. He's one of the protagonists. What is his name? I wish I would have actually prepped before I decided to talk about this. Okay, so Elijah Wood is Todd Brotzman. He's just a regular guy who's having a very rough time recently, and, like, a bunch of complete bullshit keeps happening to him, and then some dude just shows up and decides that they're best friends, and that he should be his assistant as a detective. And he's like, "You're not a detective. Like, what are you doing? You're just running around doing random stuff." And he's like, "I'm a holistic detective. When I run around and do random stuff, it means that when he runs around and does random stuff, actually he's solving crimes." Because the universe is all interconnected. And so fate will lead him into whatever he needs to do.
God, it is stupid and funny.
Oh my god. Season 2 is, like, fine. It's, like, okay. Like, I never even finished the last couple episodes. Season 2 is, like, fine. Season 1 of Dirk Gently is fucking perfect. Like, you get all this setup, like, all these different characters, all of these different casts of people who are all constantly meshing with each other in all these different ways that are, like, so satisfying to watch. Like, my favorite pair of characters, like, I like Dirk and Todd, do not get me wrong, and another character named Farah who starts hanging out with them. Like, that trio, deeply good, deeply enjoyable. But there's a woman named Bart, and
I love that name.
Yeah, Bart and Ken she's a holistic assassin, which means that when she goes around and the universe leads her to the people who she's supposed to kill. So,
and it won't allow her to die?
So, Ken is the first...
I'm looking at the Wikipedia. That's so silly.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. Like, if you want to see an unhinged woman, like... You know, the people on Tumblr are always asking, where are my ladies who are just horrible little creatures? You know, we get all kinds of men who are horrible little creatures, but Bart is the perfect female version of that. Like, just running around doing so many crimes. And yeah, and then she gets a little guy who is her new bestie. And I love the two of them so much. It's so good. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. The humor in the show, oh my god. Like, it's very good at its setup and payoff. And, like, season 1 especially, like, the shit that happens is so totally insane. But I feel like it brings it in also organically, that you kind of accept it as part of the universe really easily. It works out so well. I would definitely recommend it. You will get queer baited.
Oh no!
you know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. I do really like the relationship between Dirk and Todd. You will get queerbaited by it.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. This is what fanfiction is for. I always talk too long about my things because I want people to know exactly what's good about them, but then I end up just rambling. Yeah, it's your turn, bro.
Bro, I love when you ramble. Like, I love when you ramble so much.
But yeah, if you need another show, because I know that you go through shows like
you know I do. I really do.
Definitely check out Dirk Gently. I really enjoy it.
Like, I need to write down all of the things that you've ever recommended because I just need to. I need them to consume my life as well.
Yeah.
Well, the show that I'm gonna plug is Heartstopper because
good.
Because I finally watched that. So the fun story about when I watched it, I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes. And then my mom came home, and I was like, shit, I have to start this over, don't I? And she was like, what are you watching? And I explained it. She's like, yes, you need to start it over, and we need to watch it. Oh my goodness. If you don't know what Heartstopper is, how? Literally how? I can't. I just kept hearing people talk about it, and I'm like, gay boys? Being happy? And they're British? Yes.
Yeah. Ted owns some of the graphic novels, I think, which is fun.
I need to read those now and let that consume my life because it sounds so good and so happy. I love it. I love it.
It is so gratifying to see gay teen rom-coms, you know? And it does, the way that it's written is like, you know, like a queer webcomic or like a fanfiction, you know? It's very focused on feelings. It's very nice. It's a good show.
I'm also just so happy that, spoilers, I guess, that one of the characters is bisexual. I was, like, baited into thinking 2 different characters on other shows were bisexual, but they came out as gay. Like, it's fine. It's also good that they came out as gay, but, like, in Love Victor, I thought he was gonna be bi. In Diary of a Future President, I thought he was gonna be bi. They both came out as gay men, and I'm like, we need more bisexual men in media.
Yeah. We also need men who have dated women and later find out that they're gay. But it would be nice to have both. And
yeah, we need
to
both.
see more bi people.
I need more bi people. I need it. And I'm like so happy that he's bi. I already loved Kit Connor in Rocketman. You ever seen the musical, I'm forgetting.
John.
Yeah, Elton John musical.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
Bro, secondary plug, Rocketman is so good. You will cry, but also I love it so much, and it's so uplifting. I also just love Taron Egerton's, like, basically, like, story of how he became Elton John in that movie. Come on, he sang that one Elton John song in Sing, and then he starred alongside Elton John in the second Kingsman movie, and then he plays Elton John in Rocketman.
That's fascinating. I love that. Did you know that I love Sing? That movie is silly. I love watching that movie.
I just saw that Sing 2 is coming on Netflix, and I'm like, I don't care enough, but, like, I might watch it. They have good songs.
I do care and am going to watch it. I couldn't get anyone to, like, go with me to see it, but I'm gonna see it.
Okay, maybe we need to watch that together on Netflix. I think that's what we need to happen here. All of the gay things. Listen, it's currently Pride Month while we're recording. I'm having a time with all of the gay shit. Go watch Heartstopper. It's great. Also, I just love the fact that the author of the webcomic and graphic novel, like, literally writes the show too.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so good.
Yeah. And did you know that they use she/they pronouns and are aro ace? And
excellent.
Love Alice Oseman. I love you wherever you are. You're great. I need to consume more of your things because you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Non-binary people are becoming more and more visible. I feel like it's something that you only notice if you're already queer and like
Yeah, definitely.
because it's so hard for non-binary people to, you know, get acknowledged as being who they are and how they are and what they are.
I've been like following not to keep going on this topic, but like I've been following the creator of She-Ra and their whole journey through all of this. Currently going by ND Stevenson. Loving him, her, them, all of it. I'm just like, man, I love your gender. Very gender.
Very gender.
Also just like the ginger, not gonna lie, me being like hair envy. I have hair envy for you.
Alright, we gotta end this episode. It's so friggin' long.
I'm having emotions. Hey, I'm happier than I was at the beginning of this episode.
I
was broken. Now I'm happy. Okay.
Good.
Okay. See if I can end this shit.
Percy Jackson may be depressing, but talking about Percy Jackson is healing.
Yeah, this is true. This is absolutely true. Raye, get out of my fucking cabin. I'm gonna go have my sad boy hours.
Sad little sad boy hours in the sad boy cabin.
Yes.
You can find this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 Patreon tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on TeePublic to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or, if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mack, that's M-A-C-K, and I also have another podcast on the network called Fandoms Gone Wrong, where my mom and I talk about movies, TV shows, books, whatever other fandoms we enjoy. You can find that on all the major podcasting apps. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be part of the Movie Night Crew Network, which features great podcasts like Fandom's Gone Wrong, a fandom-filled show co-hosted by yours truly. Hello, you awesome nerds out there. Yes, you. Have I got the podcast for you?
We've got pop culture, swearing, and all the immature jokes you could ask for.
We'll take you on a journey through TV shows, movies, books, and maybe a video game someday.
And we'll tell you how they all went wrong.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carrie.
And this is Fandom's Gone Wrong.
New episodes every other Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday. Oh god, I forgot to close my door. Hello, I've got a cat. Charlie's just looking at a tail going back and forth across my lap. Hello, dearest.
I love it. I'm loving this.
All right. So Percy and goodness. Percy and Talia bring Nico. Oh God, I have to talk into the mic. I can't be distracted. I probably have to get rid of this child. We're gonna have to edit all this out anyways. Baby, she's so cute though. What if I just snuggled a cat this whole episode? I can't. She's too rowdy. I'll be right back. Honey, where did you go? Oh, there you are. Look at her. Oh!
This is wonderful.
Bye. Oh, she brought me a toy. She wanted me to throw a toy for her.
Oh.
Okay. My bad, dude.
Deus Ex Media.